Contrary to my background, I'm not. Contrary to the books. Welcome to Righteously Coolio, where we are made the righteousness of God through Christ. If this is your first time, welcome. This is my first video, so it's a welcome to me as well, I guess. By the title of this video, I'm doing some gnarly stuff. I'm doing some challenging stuff. In today's society, in 2025, this is some crazy business. I secured a dumb phone. Like every human being in 2024, I have a smartphone. I have an iPhone 14 Plus. Why did I say it like that? An iPhone 14 Plus. I'm sure y'all have seen those videos. You've consumed enough. Now create. I don't know about y'all, but that be hitting me severely. Because why am I consuming so much? Are we made to be putting all this information in our head? And most of the time, I'm not even keeping the information. Ask me what I watched 20 minutes ago on YouTube. I could not tell you. So why am I consuming? It's pointless consuming at this point. And you know, at the age that I am, I want to get into hobbies. I want to have fun things to do other than just scroll my phone. When people ask me, what do I enjoy? It's the basics, gym, hiking. But what more? What can I add to my hobby list? What happened to hobbies? Let's bring back hobbies. Let's bring back the hobbies. And so in order to do that, in order to stop the distractions, in order to quiet the noise and just be able to hear the Lord and create, I've decided to downgrade to a dumb phone. And I know I'm blabbing a lot, y'all. But like I said, this is my documentary. Okay? So this is me to look back on. Well, I am going to just film this for a week, but the goal is for me to just keep my dumb phone forever and say goodbye to my smartphone forever. But the thing is, I can look back and see how this benefited me. What did I learn from? And what can anyone else learn from it? Did it lead me closer to God? Did I actually take that time to hear the voice of God? So many things that can line up in this. Challenge-wise, the first thing I think about, y'all, is Google Maps. Because I don't know about you, I always use Google Maps. It's a stronghold. Even if I know where I'm going, I will use Google Maps just so I know the time that I'm going to be there at the location, even if it's just my house. And so I know that this will be challenging for me. I also am not the best at directions. Maybe it's the woman in me, it's the feminine energy in me that is not able to locate anything in sight. And so I know that that will be the biggest challenge for me. I was looking on Amazon. I might end up ordering some type of device, GPS device that could navigate me, you know, just like a Google Maps would. So we'll see. Maybe I should just challenge myself and learn some maps, some north, west, east, and south. I'm gonna look forward to, y'all, is just getting back into my hobbies, going out for walks, being a normal human being, being a human, okay? That's really what I'm looking forward to, instead of being trapped inside just on technology, doing technology stuff. Enough of the chatting and the blabbing. Let's get into opening up this device. I was talking upside down into the mic. Oh my gosh. Now, I ended up getting this. I'm literally looking it up on my smartphone. How ironic is that? Looking it up, the name on my smartphone, because it's so complicated. It is the Kyocera Dura XV Extreme E4810. The reason I got this one was because I have Verizon. Right, this ain't a sponsor with Verizon, but Verizon sponsor me and pay my bills, please. It looks indestructible. The only downside of it, it's not girly enough for me. I need a little pizzazz and a little bling, you know, a little pink there, a little purple there. Something girly pop, something that screams girly pop McGee. And so I'm going to end up blinging her up. I'm going to add some rhinestones, glue them on, see what we can do to add a little pizzazz to it, you know what I'm saying? Let's just open her up. Let's just open her up here and there. I'm so excited. I need to clip this mic on. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Did I get scissors for this? No. Are there scissors here? You know what? We're gonna open with our bare hands. Our bare exposed hands. Oh! Never mind. Wait. Just needs a little cleaning, that's all, but hold on. Yeah? Hello? It's giving Kim Possible. Is this what they had, or did they have beepers? So simple. How simple? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. And how simple is this? You got your volume, you got your whatever this is, and you got whatever this is. I mean, I'm set, y'all. I'm set. Catch me calling up the Girly Pops. Catch me calling up my Lord and Savior. From what I remember, it's the holding the end, but yeah, no. I haven't heard that sound in forever. Oh my gosh, it's bringing flashbacks. She is screaming at me. I'm gonna go ahead and get this activated, y'all. I'm gonna be filming throughout the week of my adventures with my dumb phone. I'm sure we'll be best friends by the end of this. And I will convince you all to get a dumb phone. Just get it now. Get it now. I have not checked in, but you know what? I haven't showed y'all my phone, the result. Wow. Look at that. And it is now Girly Pop certified. Oh, is it focused on me? Hopefully it is. It is now Girly Pop certified. It might look like a kindergartner did this because I ran out of colors and it's popping off of the seams right now as I'm pressing it. But it's a lot more girlier as I desired, so I'm happy. Also, yeah, I could fight somebody with this. Like, if you threw this at somebody's face, you're breaking a few bones. You're breaking a nose, you're breaking a eyebrow, you're breaking a cheekbone. You know, you're doing a lot. So not only is this a cell phone, but it's also a device to fight. I mean, 2 in 1. I'm just saying. Now, I had mentioned before that my directional skills aren't the best. Still aren't. But I did end up getting, yo, this is a throwback. Did y'all ever have TomToms growing up? MapQuest, whatever it may be. I am putting more effort into, if I'm going to a location to meet with somebody and I don't know where it's at, I'm gonna look through the little maps to see what the steps are. But if I'm still a little iffy about it, I'll use my bootleg TomTom for it. And y'all, it's basically the same thing. All it's doing is guiding me. It's slow paced, taking its time, but it's still guiding me at the level that I need, you know? Because I genuinely know the streets. I literally parked because I thought I knew where I was going, but I don't. That's a lie. I don't know the streets, but I generally know where I'm going. So I just need a little bit of guidance, and it's been very helpful. I used it once. It did its thing. Aside from that, I think this is I want to say this is the 3rd day, y'all. Whoa, no. Yeah, it's the 3rd day. And I will say, when I went to get my phone changed from smartphone to my flip phone, the lady looked at me like I was crazy. I don't blame her at all because, girl, it's 2025. Why are you doing that? Texting takes 20 hours to do as well. Inputting all the information. It probably takes me 5 minutes to write a text. Now, I'm not a texting pro on this, so maybe eventually I'm gonna be like, ding, 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 quick. But for now, it's I'm doing a lot. My sleep, y'all, I wear an Oura ring. Mind you, this has only been 3 days, but I wear an Oura ring and my sleep score has been just higher than I've ever seen it before. So I've been getting excellent sleep. Makes sense. I'm not on my phone scrolling before I'm sleeping. I feel like I'm realizing certain things. My phone really was a coping mechanism for me. Like, I would go to it when I was bored, when I was sad, when I was angry. It was a distraction. And so I feel like now I can't run to it. And so now I have no choice but to run to the Lord with my feelings and whatever it is in that moment. And do I feel still a bit off? Yes, but I just gotta push through. Some my brain chemicals and cells can get together and be like, girl, you ain't on this phone anymore, so let's replenish dopamine somewhere else. And that's update day 3, y'all. Update. All right, friends, this is the next day after that the week, the last day of it. The chaos of it all, y'all, is that apparently my flip phone does not have group message. So when I'm trying to meet up with a group of friends, it is the absolute struggle because I'm receiving no messages at all. I'm able to text one person, I guess, but I'm not receiving all the messages. And that has been the biggest thing, communicating with people. I'm in group chats, and that's the biggest thing. I'm in other group chats. I'm in group me's, and I can't even see my group me unless I open my laptop. And who's carrying a laptop around like that? And I don't have personal hotspot at all times, so that is the biggest struggle, communicating with others. And nowadays, 2025, that's like the biggest way we're able to interact is through our phones. I didn't even realize how big of an impact. Another thing, y'all, I was trying to use this GPS navigation thing. It kept saying I was in Canada. I don't understand why, because I'm in a whole nother country outside of Canada. I'm in the US. And so I was over it. I said, I'm not doing this. And I just asked my husband to drop me off where I was going because I just didn't know where to go. I ended up just transferring the little SIM to my old iPhone 6S that I had, and I decided to just use it. Now, I love it. It's tiny, it's compact. It reminds me of like the iPod. When the iPods came out, it's just small. It got the basics, and it still has the little middle button, which I love. I feel like it also just does not lead me to be tempted to be on it scrolling or on YouTube because it's so small and it's very slow. But my concern is fixed with this. I'm able to communicate with others. Still has Google Maps. I just have to charge it every 30 minutes. But outside of that, I'm not tempted to grab it to watch YouTube or any other sort. So I think I'm going to stay on this one and see how it goes. And I'm going to continue filming my journey and my comparison with using this, lesser technology, I guess. It's not as advanced as my iPhone 16 for sure. That's a whole 10. That's a whole 10 generations of iPhone. That's insane. You know what? She's still good and handy. I love her. So I'm going to keep filming, and I'm going to keep filming my journey and compare it to how it is, and if I'm going to stay on this one, on my little tiny petite, and we'll see. Good morning. It's been a week, y'all. Crazy. But I do have a few observations. I caught myself being like, oh, I need to get home and watch some TV, because I don't have my smartphone, but I am allowing myself to watch YouTube on my TV, which I obviously don't watch as much because I'm like, who's doing that in 2025? I'll probably watch like a one video or two and then I'm over it. But because I couldn't rely on my phone, I started on relying on TV, or getting at least that little kick, of dopamine. And I've only realized that because of the way I felt and the fact that I just ran to it, and I was like, I need to go home and watch it so that I can distract myself. And so that was the biggest thing I've noticed so far is how I used it as I used it as a distraction to distract myself. I did get my screen time notification, y'all, and it was down like 6 hours, because I think last week it told me my average was 7 hours. How disgusting, how chaotic, how disgraceful is that? But this time it says, I want to say it said an hour and 54. And the only reason I use my smartphone is to listen to the Bible, or I use it to log information, or just to look up stuff like, what time does Kroger close, or what time does this, or I'll use it for like Spotify, to listen to podcasts. So I'm using it more of like a tool rather than me scrolling in every app or YouTube. So now I just use it when I need to use it, and that's about it. So that was astonishing, amazing. Y'all, I hope y'all can see me. It's pretty dark, but it went downhill. And here I am with my fat iPhone 14 back again. Reason being, it was so hard to use my tiny petite phone. Not because it was tiny petite, but because it was old. I think the highest software update it could have was iOS 16, or less. I'm sorry, it's less than that. iOS 15. This one's iOS 8. It's telling me right now to update to iOS 18. So I couldn't even use certain apps which I was using as tracking, like my Aura Ring, sleep, stuff like that, natural cycles, and I couldn't even use that because it wasn't up to date. It was just so much that I unfortunately could not use. It was very slow. It took I was just remembering why I had upgraded was because it was so slow, and when I'm talking to people on the phone, they just can't hear me. So it's just a lot of downfalls. I am spoiled, and I was like, oh, if I have another iPhone, I'm just gonna use the iPhone that I have. How spoiled am I? Am I sad? Yes, I really enjoyed not being on it, and I will say already, I feel like I'm using it a lot more than I should. I turned my screen black and I've turned the phone black and white, which people were saying helps with like the grayscale, not to like grab your phone, all this. And so now I have to make it, like I genuinely have to make an effort to not grab my phone and see it as a tool, which is what I've been praying for, is just seeing my phone as a tool and not resorting and running to it when I need to. And I feel like I have been able to do that. I've gotten a lot better at not resorting to grabbing my phone whenever I feel some type of way, whenever I'm bored. It's like now I really had to reprogram my habits into grabbing something else other than my phone. Another thing I noticed, y'all, is our thoughts. I don't know if I mentioned this, but my thought pattern, like letting thoughts in, taking them captive, it's a skill, right? It's something that we're supposed to be working on. And I noticed that I'm not able to do that if I'm always on my phone. I'm using my phone as a distraction, and it's hurting me more than it is benefiting me. I do see like the peace that just not using my phone brings me, because when I have my phone, I'm anxious to get all these notifications, like respond, but I just tuck it away. If I'm listening to something, if I'm listening to the Bible, I'm listening to podcasts, I'll just put my headphones in and tuck it away into a drawer and get upon my day, which really helps. It's on permanent do not disturb, and I just feel more peaceful that way. That being said, my last day isn't until 2 days. Even though I'm on my iPhone 14, I still do want to share my thoughts on it all in general. Y'all, this is my Can you hear my pup? This is my in conclusion video with my pup right next to me and my wet hair. Basically, I no longer have a flip phone. I know I miss it so much. It lasted probably a week, unfortunately. I wish it would have lasted more. But like I said, the communication was just so hard. It was hard to communicate with others. It was hard to reach others. It was hard for people to reach me in general. And so I did have to switch to my iPhone, which was the iPhone 6S. It was being extremely slow. Apparently, we're on the iOS 26 now, and that one can only go up to iOS 15. So it was lacking a lot of components that I could do now, certain tools, certain apps that to put in information like natural cycles or a ring. A lot of it was lacking. And so I had to switch over to my iPhone 14 after like a couple days or maybe a week. I did have the experience, I guess, of flip phone for a week at least. It was wonderful. I feel like so much of our iPhone is we're waiting on alerts, we're waiting on messages, we're waiting for people to like respond to us. And so I didn't have to wait on that. It wasn't like I didn't have like this anxiety, this anxiousness to want to reach my phone and be like, who messaged me? What notifications do I have? None of that, because I could barely text on my flip phone. It took me 20 minutes to write a message, so I definitely wasn't texting anybody. Before I started this, it said I was doing Do you have something to say, sir? Okay. Before I started this, I was doing 7 hours a day, y'all. 7 hours a day average, it said, the screen time. That's crazy work. Now I'm down to I believe 2 hours. And 2 hours, yep. Which is insane. Insane. The goal is to have 0 hours. No, I'm kidding. But that has been a positive. So screen time down, notifications, I'm like, whatever. I've learned to use my smartphone as a tool instead of a constant thing where I'm having to pick it up when I'm bored, when I need distraction, when I need comfort, when I need anything. I'm not using it as a comfort, but now I'm using it as a tool where I'm grabbing it only when I need to, when I'm looking up stuff, Google Maps, putting in information from my Oura ring, stuff like that. And that has been a huge help. I feel like I'm learning to do that. I'm having to reprogram my mind not to get used to these dopamine hits constantly from my phone. And now I'm enjoying the stuff that I used to enjoy, going out, chilling outside in my gray cardigan, drinking tea in the morning, reading a book, hanging with my pup, hanging with my puppuccino. I mean, so many things that I feel like I really did miss out on while just scrolling through my phone. Another pro is definitely being able to get more time with the Lord during this time. Because now when I am bored, I'm just like, let me go spend time with the Lord. Like, that's always a great time. So, quiet time with the Lord, let me get in His Word. And I have been able to incorporate more reading the Bible and spending time with Him in prayer. And it's been a wonderful time. It's been very refreshing for sure. I did enjoy my time with my flip phone. It was a wonderful time. I do miss it, y'all. I really do. So, too, just taking your thoughts captive has been something it's a constant skill and a practice that I was not doing before. And so once I completely got out of my phone and using it as a comfort zone, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I gotta start taking these thoughts captive. That means I gotta start practicing. And I wasn't practicing for all this time. And so now it's having again to rewire my brain to be conscious of the thoughts that I'm letting in and to take them captive and replace them with the truth of the Word of God. Now, some cons, y'all. I didn't have Google Maps. Throughout this, I mentioned Google Maps was a come through for me moment because I'm not the best at directions. I'm getting better at it, but it's hard for me to navigate without Google Maps. And that was so tough, especially if I was going somewhere new. That was the hardest thing ever. Communication, as I mentioned, was so tough. It was just hard because I couldn't be in group chats. Apparently, I didn't even know that, but when people added me to group chats, I wouldn't get the messages. And then I had group me's with a group of people. I could only check them if I had my laptop. That was another con. And so I think communication all in 2025 is very much we communicate through our phones, our specifically text message, group me, apps, all this stuff. And so that was just so hard. I had to just call people. Another con was location. I didn't realize how much find my location was so important, especially in my family. a lot of times, obviously, we're using it for safety reasons. Like, hey, did this person get to their destination safely? Did they get home safely? And so that was a big thing with my husband, and knowing safety wise where I was. And we ended up getting an Apple AirTag, y'all, but it wasn't as accurate as our Find My Location is on the phone. And so that was another big component, just safety issues and knowing where that person is, or if they got home safely. In conclusion, a wonderful experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend every single human being to do this for at least a week. I think that week allows you to really gain clarity on how we're using our phones, the effect that they're having on us. And it also allows you to learn that it's not evil. Our smartphones aren't evil. It's just learning to use it the way that we're supposed to use it, as a tool rather than a form of entertainment, and allowing us to just, as the people would say, allow brain rot through scrolling. Is that how it's properly used? If y'all got anything from this video, use your smartphone as a tool. Go outside, get some fresh air in your lungs, some sun on your skin, some grass on your feet. Get some hobbies, get to reading, get the time with the Lord. I mean, there's a lot to do, y'all, instead of just scrolling on this phone. All right, y'all. Bye bye.